They hadn't seen me in 15 years, but the moment they walked into that mahogany-paneled room, their faces wore that same polished smile, hungry, fake, rehearsed. "Sweetheart," my mother cooed, voice dripping with sugar and rot. My father nodded stiffly, already eyeing the papers on the table. They weren't here for me. They were here for the numbers. The lawyer's voice had barely faded when their claim dropped like a knife. "As her parents," my mother cooed, voice dripping with sugar and rot. My father nodded stiffly, already eyeing the papers on the table. They weren't here for me. They were here for the numbers. The lawyer's voice had barely faded when their claim dropped like a knife. "As her parents, we'll oversee the inheritance on her behalf. She's still our responsibility." Responsibility. That word almost made me laugh. These were the same people who left me on a doorstep when I was 8, choosing their fresh start overseas instead of a child. Grandpa raised me alone. He poured into me discipline, silence, strategy. He never said much about their betrayal. He didn't need to. Their absence was its own confession. And now, after 15 years of nothing, not a call, not a card, they showed up to collect. I didn't argue. Not yet. Revenge isn't loud. It's patient. Instead, I sat quietly, letting them spin their performance. My mother dabbed fake tears. My father spoke of family unity. They thought the girl they abandoned had stayed frozen in time, small, weak, dependent. They didn't know Grandpa left me more than money. He left me instructions, connections, a lawyer as ruthless as the man himself. I remembered the night Grandpa told me. We were sitting in the library, the fire crackling low. "Blood doesn't make family," he said, staring into the flames. "Loyalty does. And loyalty isn't claimed, it's proven." I didn't know then how much weight those words carried. Now, in this room, I understood. The discovery of their betrayal wasn't new. It was my childhood. But the revelation today was sharper. They still believed they could control me. That illusion was about to shatter. I gave a single nod to the corner of the room. The door opened. My lawyer stepped in, tall, calm, carrying a leather folder like a weapon. My parents froze. The blood drained from their faces. They knew him. 15 years ago, he was the man who served them their custody termination papers, the man who made their abandonment legally permanent. Now, he was back, standing at my side. "Mr. and Mrs. Hayes," he began, voice crisp, "you are not guardians. In fact, the court documents you signed 15 years ago severed your parental rights permanently. You have no claim, legal, financial, or otherwise, over my client." He opened the folder, sliding copies across the table. Their signatures glared up at them in black ink. My mother's hand trembled. My father's jaw clenched, but he couldn't speak. The silence was exquisite. I leaned forward, my voice steady. "You abandoned me. Grandpa didn't. That's why this inheritance is mine, not yours, never yours." Their eyes darted, desperate, searching for a foothold. There was none. But I hadn't finished. See, revenge isn't just about denying them. It's about making sure they feel the loss. Grandpa's will included a clause, a trust fund for loyal family caretakers. Over the years, I had named people. The housekeeper who stayed, the driver who never left, even the gardener who treated me like a daughter. All of them would receive lifetime stipends. My parents? Nothing. Not a cent. And I made sure that was read aloud, line by line. My father finally snapped. "This is ridiculous! We are her parents!" My lawyer cut him off like a guillotine. "No, you were her parents until you signed away the title. That was your choice. I sat back, watching the fury curdle into helplessness. They weren't in control anymore. They weren't even players in the game. The climax came in one final blow. I pulled out a small envelope Grandpa left me, sealed until this day. Inside, a single photograph. Me at 8 years old, standing on that doorstep, suitcase in hand. On the back, Grandpa's handwriting. This is the day they lost you. Never let them forget it. I slid it across the table. Here, I said, a souvenir for the trip home. They left in silence, faces pale, movements stiff. Not triumphant, not victorious, just exposed. The world they expected, the millions, the mansion, the control, was gone. And all they had to carry was the reminder of what they chose to abandon. When the room emptied, I stayed behind. For the first time, the mansion felt truly mine. Not Grandpa's, not theirs. Mine. I walked to the window, looking out at the long driveway where their car had vanished. No sadness, no regret, just relief. Because the truth is simple. They left me once. This time, I left them. And I didn't just inherit Grandpa's fortune, I inherited his strength, his precision, his understanding of loyalty. Blood isn't family, loyalty is. And today, I proved it.